The Golden Gate Bridge is a suspension bridge spanning the Golden Gate, the 1-mile-wide, 1.6 kilometers, strait connecting San Francisco Bay and the Pacific Ocean. The structure links the U.S. city of San Francisco, California, the northern tip of the San Francisco Peninsula, to Marin County, carrying both U.S. Route 101 and California State Route 1 across the strait. The bridge is one of the most internationally recognized symbols of San Francisco and California. Architect, Irving Morrow. Engineering design by Joseph Strauss, Charles Ellis, Leon Solomon. Moiseev. Construction start January 5, 1933. Construction end, April 19, 1937. Opened, May 27, 1937, 83 years ago. Material, steel. Total length, 8,980 feet, 2,737.1 m. It's about 1.7 miles, 2.7 kilometers, width, 90 feet, 27.4 m, height, 746 feet, 227.4 m. It was initially designed by engineer Joseph Strauss in 1917. It has been declared one of the wonders of the modern world by the American Society of Civil Engineers. The Frommer's Travel Guide describes the Golden Gate Bridge as possibly the most beautiful, certainly the most photographed, bridge in the world. At the time of its opening in 1937, it was both the longest and the tallest suspension bridge in the world, with a main span of 4,200 feet, 1,280 m, and a total height of 746 feet, 227 m. Before the bridge was built, the only practical short route between San Francisco and what is now Marin County was by boat across a section of San Francisco Bay. A ferry service began as early as 1820, with a regularly scheduled service beginning in the 1840s for the purpose of transporting water to San Francisco. The Sausalito Land and Ferry Company service, launched in 1867, eventually became the Golden Gate Ferry Company, a Southern Pacific Railroad subsidiary, the largest ferry operation in the world by the late 1920s. Once for railroad passengers and customers only, Southern Pacific's automobile ferries became very profitable and important to the regional economy. The ferry crossing between the Hyde Street Pier in San Francisco and Sausalito Ferry Terminal in Marin County took approximately 20 minutes and cost $1 per vehicle when, a price later reduced to compete with the new bridge. Better Source needed the trip from the San Francisco Ferry Building took 27 minutes. Many wanted to build a bridge to connect San Francisco to Marin County. San Francisco was the largest American city still served primarily by ferry boats. Because it did not have a permanent link with communities around the bay, the city's growth rate was below the national average. Many experts said that a bridge could not be built across the 6,700-foot, 2,000-meter, strait, which had strong, swirling tides and currents, with water 372 feet, 113 m, deep at the center of the channel, and frequent strong winds. Experts said that ferocious winds and blinding fogs would prevent construction and operation. Strauss was chief engineer in charge of overall design and construction of the bridge project. However, because he had little understanding or experience with cable suspension designs, responsibility for much of the engineering and architecture fell on other experts. Strauss's initial design proposal, 2 double cantilever spans linked by a central suspension segment, was unacceptable from a visual standpoint. The final graceful suspension design was conceived and championed by Leon Moiseev, the engineer of the Manhattan Bridge in New York City. Irving Morrow, a relatively unknown residential architect, designed the overall shape of the bridge towers, the lighting scheme, and Art Deco elements, such as the tower decorations, streetlights, railing, and walkways. The famous international orange color was Morrow's personal selection, winning out over other possibilities, including the U.S. Navy's suggestion that it be painted with black and yellow stripes to ensure visibility by passing ships. Senior engineer Charles Alton Ellis, collaborating remotely with Moiseev, was the principal engineer of the project. Moiseev produced the basic structural design, introducing his deflection theory by which a thin, flexible roadway would flex in the wind, greatly reducing stress by transmitting forces via suspension cables to the bridge towers. Although the Golden Gate Bridge design has proved sound, a later Moiseev design, the original Tacoma Narrows Bridge, collapsed in a strong windstorm soon after it was completed, because of an unexpected aeroelastic flutter. Ellis was also tasked with designing a bridge within a bridge in the southern abutment, to avoid the need to demolish Fort Point, a pre-Civil War masonry fortification viewed, even then, as worthy of historic preservation. He penned a graceful steel arch spanning the fort and carrying the roadway to the bridge's southern anchorage.